Welcome everyone to the last episode of what I am calling Evil Month, as we are breaking down each of the 7 deadly sins and basically how we can turn these negative traits into tools for our success. And today's topic is sloth. Would you believe me if I said I have been procrastinating on making this episode? What a shocker. Slothing on making a topic about sloth, that just does not seem fitting at all. So, here's the thing though. It's so easy to feel really unmotivated, to feel really stuck, or just too tired to move forward. And especially in an industry as demanding, personally demanding, as the entertainment industry. So, instead of letting sloth keep us stagnant, we're going to learn how to transform that inaction into momentum instead. Okay? So, first of all, I want to encourage you guys to check out all the other episodes I have done for Evil Month, as this one is the last one. If you guys chant hard enough for an encore, I might just do a bonus episode. So also keep that in mind. If you want a bonus one, check out the others though, so you know what I've already covered and what I could do as a bonus episode if you are interested in that. Also, just going to say, check out my social media on almost any social media platform at Make Waves Coach for free inspirational content. Check out my entertainment account, Mermaid Cassandra, on also almost any social media platform. And also check out my podcast, Make Waves Mermaid Cassandra, available every place podcasts are found. Also, you can check out my book. It is my own self-written children's book. It is available in the link in the description below. Okay, without further ado and procrastinating on getting to the actual episode of Sloth, let's dive into sloth. Okay. Now, sloth might be associated with laziness most commonly, but it is often just a sign that you're uncertain or overwhelmed. Have you ever thought about this? This is absolutely wild when you think about it, how true this is and how wildly out of context sloth tends to be taken. Bear in mind, this is coming from me, who is literally a workaholic. I do not make excuses. I don't tolerate excuses. None of that. Coming from me, what if instead of fighting this feeling that we need to be doing more and doing better and stop slothing and viewing it as this deadly sin that is trying to take us over, what if we actually just honed into the feeling that, you know what? Truth is, I am uncertain. What can I learn from this? Where do I need to look to get clarity? Or what do I need to do to get clarity? Or, you know what? I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I cannot handle another day of this. Most often, if we just take time to rest, the issue we are battling will resolve itself. More times than not, it will just resolve itself. Don't quote me on this, because I know there are so many issues that don't resolve itself, and you need to be getting out there and you need to be fixing it yourself, because there are so many things that could be the absolute worst thing you could do. But think about it. If there's an issue that, especially most of the time, mental issues that you're just feeling that, again, uncertainty, overwhelmed, if you just take time to rest and just chill out for a minute, recharge, you might come back stronger. You might just come back a lot stronger. And you're not going to feel this like this creature of just moving in slow-mo like you're a snail, you know? You might come back as an entirely different creature. You might be reincarnated through that resting period as another creature, because being a sloth is not who you are. You just have a bad day sometimes. And when you force yourself to just keep pushing through these bad days, you're never gonna recharge in a healthy way, right? So let's explore how sloth can actually propel you towards your dream gigs. Never thought you'd hear that in the same sentence, right? Sloth can show up as procrastination, avoidance, or even a feeling of you're just too tired to pursue your goals. I have been there. Hear me when I say I have been there. In the entertainment industry, again, as I'm always saying how demanding it is very easy to feel the need to be hustling constantly and keep up your good energy. And it's very easy to fall into periods of inactivity because you just kind of experience these highs and lows of the highs are really, really high, and then the lows are so low, especially, again, as an entertainer, I talk about this a lot. When you live for the validation is probably why you are an entertainer to begin with. You live for the validation, and you experience this period of all eyes on you, right? You feel so fulfilled and so full and so happy, and then when that withdrawal happens, you no longer have any eyes on you. When you go back to your place and you're alone and everything is quiet and no one's cheering for you, you literally experience withdrawals. And it's not just a low. I mean, it is like a suffocating low of feeling like you can't even survive because you lost your, I hate to say this because I know it's icky. But basically, your sense of what you live for, right? When you come back to your place and you're alone and you have nothing to live for, what are you living for? What are you living for when the people that you're living for are no longer there to validate you? You are just kind of there. I know, it's icky. It's icky, right? It's the truth, but it's icky. You know in this period that you should be working on your craft, right? You should be working on the next step and improving your game to keep up that image that you are trying to maintain as a performer, right? But you often just can't even find the motivation to take that next step because you're lacking like the validation to get that motivation. Do you know what I mean? It's rough, isn't it? And I just want to clarify that the issue is not necessarily the need for rest or the desire for rest. It's that rest often turns into stagnation, and therein lies the problem. Sloth makes it really easy to fall behind. And before you know it, opportunities slip away and leaving you stuck in a place while others move forward. And it seems really unfair because the people who are moving forward are usually, it appears anyway, doing less than you, and yet they're moving forward. You're busting your ass and you're not getting anywhere, right? And it's because of the fact that they're moving at a healthier pace than you. It's not always about doing more, because just because you're doing more doesn't mean that you're progressing. When you're putting in 80%, that doesn't mean that you're progressing because you're giving 80% to one thing while giving the rest of yourself to all these other things that you're trying to do. How much of yourself do you actually have left? You're probably in the negatives, right? Whereas another person might be giving, let's say, 60% to their entertainment dream. That's 20% less than you. But when they're giving 20% less than you, they're giving 100% in total when you're in the negatives, and that much can affect your entire life, and not only your life and your bandwidth and your, personal humanness that you have left, because it's dehumanizing sometimes. It is also affecting the outcome. You want to be giving less but getting more, right? Think about the last time that you let sloth take over. Maybe you delayed on going to an audition or working on your skills or avoided networking. And at first it felt like a break, right? But soon enough, you started to feel disconnected from your goals. The longer you stay in that place of isolation, the harder it is to get back on track. Right? I mean, sloth keeps you comfortable in the short term. It does. But it comes with long-term consequences. Doesn't it? It robs you of momentum, and success in the entertainment industry thrives on consistent action. The exact reason sloth exists is because this is the purpose of sloth in and of itself, right? Is to delay that action. It's one of entertainers, I think, biggest enemies is sloth itself. The desire to be in the cycle of inactivity. It's something that I think we on some level idolize because it's something we don't have. That being said, it's not something that we need, nor is it something that we truly want, because we know that it's not going to get us anywhere. And if we truly wanted that, we would not be entertainers. Sloth itself, honing into sloth, embracing sloth, is going to put you in a place and keep you in a place where your dreams remain just out of your reach. Just enough out of your reach that you will never get there as long as you are honing into this deadly sin. Now, this might seem counteractive to what I'm trying to do here on Evil Week. I'm saying this is a deadly sin. Like, we're not trying to embrace this deadly sin, so why are we? I'm going to break it down. Why is it that we fall into this sloth, right? Why is it that we fall into it? Especially as entertainers, knowing better than we're not supposed to fall into this because of the exact outcome that comes with it. And I would imagine if you guys are listening to this episode, most of you are in this situation yourself of trying to land those dream gigs, but not getting them, probably because you're slothing in ways that maybe you're not even really aware of. Why do we let sloth take over when we know we should be working towards our goals? Because sloth is oftentimes a defense mechanism. What? Yep, it's a defense mechanism, because when you're overwhelmed, tired, or uncertain, it feels safer to do nothing than to risk failure or rejection. I know I said earlier that it is important to rest, and don't get me wrong, it is. But you need to be aware of when you're taking times to rest. Are you taking a time to rest when you should be going to an audition? Or are you taking time to rest when you want to be working on the behind the scenes stuff of your goal, but you know that maybe you shouldn't be doing it because you're really tired, and if you work on it then you're probably going to mess up anyway, and it's going to take you like 4 hours when it should only take you 4 minutes because you're tired. There's a time and a place to realize when to take the appropriate steps, and I just want to clarify that. Sloth will keep you in a comfort zone that does not lead to growth. In the entertainment industry, where opportunities can come and go in just a flash, sloth is your biggest enemy. The more you give into it, the more you're going to miss out on those gigs and the chances that could propel your career forward. Instead of letting sloth keep you stuck, use it as a tool to recharge and refocus. And here's how to transform sloth into steady and sustainable momentum. First of all, I want you to identify the root cause. Are you avoiding action because you know that you are overwhelmed? Is it because you're afraid? Is there an underlying layer of fear right there? Or do you just simply need to rest? I want you to Acknowledge the root cause of your sloth and address it directly. Get to the root of it. Get to the heart of it. Get to the bottom of it. Because if you need to rest, take it. Take it. But don't stay there. Set a clear boundary so you don't slide into that stagnation. Start small. Start small and build big. Sloth needs to be fed on the idea that the next step that you're going to take is too big. Sloth needs that. It needs that intimidation layer. So break down those goals into smaller, manageable actions. It's a lot more simple than it sounds. It's very easy to get very overwhelmed very quickly, so just start breaking it down when it comes up. Start with one small task every day. One small task every day. And let those small wins build momentum towards bigger achievements. I say this a lot too. Whether it's not building really, but making yourself a sandwich. Set a goal. This is what I want to do today. I want to make myself a ham sandwich and cut it into the shape of a heart. I don't care how cheesy your goal is. Set that goal so you can execute it and feel that win. I just want to encourage you too that sloth does not need to be wasted time. Use periods of rest, of intentional rest, to intentionally rest, to reflect, to refine your goals, and set a limit, reset to refuel, and not avoid action. How's that? This week, instead of letting sloth stop you in your tracks, let it be the catalyst for change. Every time you feel that pull of inaction, see it as an opportunity to reset and refocus. Sloth can either slow you down or help you to come back stronger. It's all in how you use it. I hope you benefited from this evil month. Let me know which episode was your favorite so I can focus more on what to do next year. I am so happy you guys made it this far. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know also if you want something to be said specifically for my bonus episode that I'm contemplating on doing. Are you ready to start turning sloth into momentum? I am here to help you start turning this stagnation into momentum, get back on the path to landing your dream gigs, and I'm here to help you turn rest into fuel to start making waves in your career. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, you can find me on almost any social media platform at Make Waves Coach. There's a link to book a free discovery call with me, I think. I also have a link in my description below. You can book a free call there if you would like to talk with me one-on-one to see if we're a good fit. Until next time, go out there and make waves. Mwah.